everybody. It's Allie, and welcome to our Y&R Chat for Sunday, September 22nd, 2024. Okay, nothing good happens in a motel room on the outskirts of town that has pine cone print curtains and wood paneling. Ugh! How unglamorous. I don't like it at all. What the heck is Sharon doing there? All week, it's been nothing but allusions to some thing that Sharon has to do, feels she has to do to make everything right again. What is it? What is it that she's planning? In the previews, she's I guess waking up from a dream and telling Cameron, Daniel was bleeding in my nightmare. And then later, she seems like she's in a park. It almost seems like she's back in Genoa City, but I don't know. She's in some park saying, how am I ever going to get myself out of this? So I don't know what's going on. I have no idea what's going on right now, let alone what's going to happen in the future. It's also very confusing. Because Sharon can't directly harm Daniel if she's not even in Genoa City. So I don't get it. I'm lost. I'm lost on the plan. But then again, I guess it's not supposed to make sense. Sharon's mind at this point is so twisted that it's nonsense. Nick wants to just go directly to her doctor to tell her doctor what's going on. And that sounds like a good idea in theory, but I don't know how responsive doctors are to calls or visits from their patients' ex-husbands. I don't know. I feel like if anybody's going to talk to the doctor, Mariah should probably be taking the lead on this one. But on Friday, Mariah is at the door of the hotel room that Sharon said she was staying at in Madison. But then when Mariah called her saying, I'm outside your door, where are you? Sharon had to admit that she isn't in Madison, and she's just really tired of her family constantly watching her, tracking her down, and doing all of this annoying stuff like loving her and being concerned for her. How do you think that Phyllis will react when she finds out that Sharon is maybe planning some kind of secret bloody revenge on Daniel? I don't know. Well, I have to say, I think it was so good to see Phyllis back in action this week. She was giving Billy's storyline a shot in the arm, a much needed shot in the arm. And I love seeing Phyllis doing something that's not butting into her kids' lives or faking her own death, etc., etc. And after all of that, fake death nonsense, that was her big story of last year. Now I feel like Phyllis is finally right now in a position where she can get a little judgy on someone else, which is nice to see. Everyone's been judging her for her actions, and now she's getting an opportunity to get judgy on someone else, like Lily. Okay, It is completely unbelievable that Billy would refuse to share even an ounce, a shred of power with either Lily or Chance, but then he would turn around and give Phyllis a COO position, the same one that, Chance had. I don't know. I just feel like it was kind of storyline-wise, believability-wise, kind of like, okay, this is a leap. This is a direction change. But okay, whatever. I'm on board. Billy told Phyllis, I'm the boss here. And she said, hey, no problem, boss. And then her very first order of business was to question all of his business motives and to give him unsolicited personal advice. I love it. It's Phyllis. I also loved, by the way that she dug into those oatmeal raisin cookies, acting like they were the most disgusting thing on the planet. Ugh, who puts breakfast food in a cookie? And then by the end of the scene, she was walking out the door with the full tin in her hand. That is hilarious. That is Phyllis. So entertaining. And I just have to say, she looked amazing in that blue dress. You could not see a single cookie on her body. I'm loving it. I think she's great. I mean, I'm all about Phyllis this week. This was the week of Phyllis for me. I think that Phyllis is someone who will actually tell Billy what he needs to hear. And you know what? Ultimately, if she can just walk out when she needs to. Phyllis has no long-term interest in this company. She's not interested in taking it over. She's just there, being fabulous and fierce on a daily basis, and now with her own parking spot. Victoria tried offering a solution to Victor that would be less destructive than him going after Billy and demolishing Billy's entire life. Victoria said, okay, well, how about this? Why don't we just offer Billy a buyout of Abbott Chancellor, and then we don't need any subterfuge. And then I also won't need to tell my children that their grandfather basically slaughtered their father for all the world to see. All right. Thanks for trying, Victoria. I am anticipating that she is going to continue to try, because Victor basically said, no thanks. I'll pass. I want this to be bloody. As a matter of fact, I want this to be bloody. It's just business, And yeah, on Friday she was saying, I'm going to do what I got to do to protect my family, implying that she is going to continue to try to help Billy. She's going to go tell him what Victor's planning, which Billy already knows. But honestly, I don't think Billy would have accepted a buyout deal anyway. I think Billy has put so much effort into Abbott Chancellor and this launch party and this acquisition, and he sees all of this as a chance to prove himself. And I don't think there was any way he was going to bail out willingly. But I don't know. It's entirely possible that Billy is not going to have a choice. Victor has definitely moved quickly on the inside information that Lily has given to him. And Victor has been communicating, negotiating on the sly with that weird guy from Odyssey 7. I love that Phyllis gave us the insight that this guy is weird. He's just like a rich, eccentric weirdo. And by the way, it was Phyllis who figured out that Lily and Victor were behind it all, behind the fact that he suddenly wanted to stop negotiating with Billy. So that's the status. Victor's plan is already in motion. Billy knows that it's not only Victor, but that it's Lily too. And Billy and Phyllis ended up confronting Lily this week over it. And, you know, I actually like this little mini story for Lily because I think it's going to have an immediate entertainment payoff. Lily did a bad thing, backstabbing Billy, thinking that it was going to get her somewhere. But karma is going to come back on her almost immediately when she realizes that Victor is about to backstab her. The population of Genoa City has officially increased by 1 because Cole can now claim himself as a resident on the next census. Yes. We actually have 2 new hunks that have recently moved to Genoa City, Cole and Alan. I feel like Cole and Alan should become friends. They're both European transplants moved to Genoa City. Maybe they should form a club. The I'm moving to this town for my girl club. Aw. Gosh, Cole is such a great guy. I mean, really. Cole is the son-in-law that anyone, absolutely anyone, would love to have. I mean, Victor actually talked this week about Victoria's checkered romantic past, even taking it back to Ashland Locke and the Italian wedding fiasco, and then of course Billy. And I mean, Victoria has a disaster track record for love. So shouldn't he be happy that Victoria's actually found someone who's decent? I don't understand what is Victor's problem here. It is absolutely ridiculous that Victor has completely embraced Michael back into the fold after how dare Michael and Cole try to save Victor's hide. So Michael's back in, but Cole is still on the outs. Victor's just still digging in his heels when it comes to Cole for some reason. Like he's really sticking to the stay away from my daughter demand. And I kind of love that Cole just kind of effortlessly ignores it all. You know, Cole's got that sort of, leaning back against a fence post with a piece of hay sticking out of his mouth. Kind of cowboy, no care vibe. He's just perfect. He fits so well on the ranch and around the ranch. He works. Cole's character is straight out of a romance novel. And he's telling everyone, including Victoria, how devoted he is to Victoria. And I mean, honestly, I don't think he would ever break Victoria's heart. If anything, I think Victoria would break his heart. And I mean, it's my memory from when they were married the first time that really Victoria was always so preoccupied with Ryan. I think who Victoria really wanted in those years was Ryan. And Cole was kind of a runner-up, and it caused a stress on the relationship. But, you know, maybe now's the time. Ryan's been dead for years, so this is Victoria and Cole's time to shine. It's their time to enjoy this family with Claire, even if that means going out on double dates with Claire and Kyle. It's just absolutely picture perfect. The only obstacle in their way is Victor. Forgive me for this little tangent, but I was just thinking of Ryan. I mentioned Ryan, so now I'm thinking about Ryan. And Ryan was so cute and so charming. And I remember being shocked when Y&R killed him. Shot him dead at the altar of marrying Victoria, I think. And I'm kind of connecting it, thinking about that shock value, and Ryan just felt like this untouchable character. He was just so cute. He was just such a little charming Prince Charming, and they just murdered him in cold blood. And now I'm thinking, you know who else is cute and charming? Daniel. I mean, I really hope that he's not destined to have the same fate. Daniel knows that Sharon hates him. She tried putting on an act this week and tried kind of lulling him into this false sense of security. All the while, Cameron's in her head telling her she's got to do what she's got to do. But Daniel didn't buy it. I mean, he is on high alert. His whole life is a mess at this point. He has no job. He is constantly arguing with Lucy, and now he's arguing with Heather over Lucy. And it's interesting. It's an interesting change of tone, because he and Heather have really been 100% on the same page about everything until now. They have really done a good job of co-parenting, coming off as partners, you know, while dealing with this whole mess. This week they had the first argument that I think we have ever seen them have. She wants to leave town and he doesn't, and I don't know. I think she's gonna have a big old "I told you so" that she's gonna be able to say to him if he survives whatever it is that Sharon is planning. How long until Adam and Chelsea are back together? Place your bets. It's what Connor wants, so I imagine it's only a matter of time. It is written. Yeah, Connor told Adam and Chelsea both this week that, well, they just seem more comfortable together than they seemed with their other partners. And I don't know, I wonder if Connor has some sort of subconscious agenda going on there, wanting his family to get back together. That seems to be, you know, what Adam thinks. Adam thinks that Connor's right. Adam thinks that Connor is seeing something that maybe Chelsea isn't ready to see yet. I gotta hand it to Adam. He has really turned the corner from being in denial about his feelings to now really fully embracing his feelings and even confessing his feelings to Chelsea, that he has thought about a relationship with her, what it might feel like to reunite romantically and to reunite their family too. That was surprising. I haven't really seen many hints of that coming from Adam. That feels sort of like a storyline sharp turn. Chelsea's not hearing it. She is not hearing it. I think Chelsea is still in denial. Chelsea definitely still thinks that she wants to get back together with Billy. Who bakes cookies for their ex? As an "I'm sorry for cheating on you" gift. This is just so not even a Chelsea that I recognize. She has become so much more unrecognizable to me. I want to get her away from Billy so that she can have some depth again. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like cookies, but I don't recognize this person. Where we left off on Friday, Chelsea has run out of the restaurant after Adam's confession that he's considered a relationship. And Billy, who has just been pumped up on forgiveness by Phyllis, is now confronting Adam about why Chelsea's running out. And I mean, I'm sure Billy's been drinking, and I'm sure that a fight is about to happen. It looks like a fight is about to happen anyway. I just don't understand why Chelsea is the forgiven one, why Chelsea is given the pass, why Chelsea is deemed the victim here. Oh yeah, maybe it's because that's basically always how Billy has seen Chelsea ever since this whole relationship 2.0 thing started on the rooftop. I think Billy sees her as the victim. She's the victim. She's the one that needs saving from herself or from Adam, the big bad villain. Adam, who is responsible for everything that has ever gone wrong in Billy's life. That's how he sees it. That's not how I see it, but I am looking forward to a fight. And, you know, I guess ultimately I'm rooting for Adam and Chelsea to reunite and maybe wreak some havoc and just, I don't know, get everyone to stop being polite and start being real. I think it's time to, you know, get real. And I imagine it's going to get real fast if Chelsea and Sally end up pregnant at the same time. Parents do their best, and then it's up to you to do better. I love that line from last week. It was Billy who said it to Connor. You know, he was just trying to make Connor understand that parenting, you know, is hard, and you know, we do our best, and you know, we try to do better than what we were given. And I just thought that was such a poignant moment because, I mean, Billy, you know, just, he really didn't have great parents. I mean, John Abbott was this great man, but he really was not involved with Billy very much. And Jill, I mean, who would want her for a mother? So if the standard is doing better than what you had, I think Billy has fulfilled that. And I really liked his character, and I really liked contextualizing him within that moment of talking about parenthood with Connor. Great quote, and we have a few great winners here. Congratulations, Kayla Rose, Dolores, Henry, David D, Justin, Brittany, and Diana. I hope I didn't miss anybody. I don't know what else to do. I either get the entries or I don't. But I will keep plugging along. Who said this? I'm an open book. I know I'm making them hard, but I don't care. You'll know I like the line. I like the moment. And if you heard it, you heard it. I'm an open book. If you think you know who said it, you should go to yrchat.com to leave your guess. And hey, if you get it right, and I get it, I will give you your shout out during next week's Y&R Chat. Oh my goodness, Southside Granny's birthday is coming up this week on the 24th. What is that, Tuesday? Southside Granny, I feel like I haven't heard from you in a little while. Where are you? Well, I hope it's off somewhere having a beautiful, beautiful, happy birthday. Let me read off some comments that we got this week. I like this. Sharon W says, okay, I finally give in. I have loved Adam since the very beginning. I have forgiven him for anything wrong he has done, but now I am angry. I'm angry at his giving up so easily on Sally. Sally is completely devoted to Adam. Of course, that is even though it took some time for her to break up with Nick and go back to Adam. But she loves him, and she worries about him. And I also know many chatters gave up on them long ago, and that made sense. But now on Friday at Society, he was almost begging Chelsea to reconsider a relationship with him again. Disgusting. Go to Sally and ask to start a family together. Then tell Chelsea to go to Billy, the one who literally saved her life, and advise she and Billy that he is forever devoted to Sally and will never stand in their way. Remember, chatters, when Chelsea and Chloe fooled Adam into thinking Chelsea could not walk or talk when she was confined to a wheelchair, why in the world would he ever forget that, much less forgive? Oh, yeah, I remember. Oh, that was torturous. Chelsea pretending to be and I don't know, like she couldn't move or talk or anything, completely incapacitated. That was the worst. He did also but Adam did have her kidnapped after that, I think, and like thrown into a dirty old warehouse with a dirty old bed. I kind of remember Adam had her kidnapped after that. They've both kind of had some, it's been a complicated relationship between Adam and Chelsea. But I love your fiery comment, Sharon W, too, because it does feel like, where'd this come from? You know, Adam was so devoted to Sally. Just 2 weeks ago, he was trying everything he could to keep the relationship, and now he's like, maybe I'll just go back to Chelsea instead. Maybe there is something here. It feels plot, like, it feels like just like we want to go in a different direction plot-wise. It's also possible, though, that Adam and Chelsea are on a break because Y&R's getting up to fire up a, like, Chelsea and Sally are both pregnant kind of story. I don't know if I want to see that again. Kamna agrees with Sharon W, saying, I also think it's totally in character for Adam, though. He doesn't want to be alone, and Connor's urging is all it took. In a twisted way, this is also about not wanting Billy to get back with Chelsea, and also probably about making Sally jealous. Dang, Kamna, I never would have thought about that. That is some deep psychological stuff. Adam doesn't want Billy to have Chelsea, and he wants to make Sally jealous. Well, Sally was very clear. She's not taking him back. Victoria says, well, I'm convinced Adam and Chelsea should give in to their history and passion. Connor just knows these things. Connor's right. Adam does seem more at ease with Chelsea than anyone else. Now, if Melissa Claire Egan wasn't leaving, I might be convinced that this could happen. Will they recast Chelsea? Victoria, I cannot find any news about Melissa Claire Egan leaving anywhere. I Googled Melissa Claire Egan, and then I hit the news search. Nothing came up. Then I hit Melissa Claire Egan leaving Y&R 2024, and I didn't find anything about that either. I went to CBS Soaps in Depth. I went to I don't know, whatever SoapNet other thing that I went to, but I have like 2 sites that I deem reliable for these things, and I haven't seen anything about that. So, do you have a link or a source or anything? It feels like she's always on the verge of leaving. I think she was on maternity leave and then for a while and she came back, but yeah, so somebody help me vet that information, because if Chelsea's leaving the show, then that says something right there. If Chelsea's leaving the show, then why would Y&R decide to make this sharp turn into an Adam and Chelsea reunion right now? I don't know. Oh, I like this. Naomi says, finally, thank you, Devon, for asking Lily if she's out of her mind colluding with Victor. Jill will give herself a heart attack when Nikki is sitting in the CEO chair. I'm actually hopeful that Billy will get a meeting with the eccentric owner of the tech company and seal this deal. Lily is called out, but lies about having Victor's deal in writing. She is feeling foolish now. So Lily, who acts impulsively? Who is it that lashes out when hurt? Maybe Lily is more like Billy than she feels comfortable with. Yeah, Lily made such a bonehead move and definitely didn't even think about getting it in writing. That's kind of, it's like it's a beginner move. You know, she's not well versed in this whole, she's not used to doing the whole corporate espionage thing. Someone who was a little less trusting would certainly have gotten it in writing, and she didn't do that. But I loved that Nate and Devon both jumped in there like, so you did what? And certainly you got some assurances, right? And I think that was definitely the moment where she first started really questioning what she had done. Like, what have I done? Dolores says, for once, Devon, I have joined your team along with Nate. Save Lily, for she has made a huge error in judgment going and teaming with Victor. What sage advice you and Nate gave her, and now it's up to her to listen, bandage her wounds, accept the errors that she made, and try to move on. Winning with Victor is not going to be possible, but maybe with the help of you, Devon, and Nate, there may be some possibility of salvaging something good out of all of this for her. Oh, Lily, I thought you were smarter than this path you took to get revenge on Billy. Yeah, I know, it's such a bad move, but I don't know, I just love it. I like watching people make mistakes and then pay for mistakes. That's kind of what the soaps are. It's like you make your mistake, then you pay for the mistake. I think this is going to have a quick payoff. We're already seeing the payoff. By the way, speaking of Devon, we are not really ramping up a whole lot. We're not ramping up a whole lot of excitement for this wedding. I mean, we had the whole stargazer Abby and Devon kind of scene this week that was really nice for a moment, but there is absolutely no drama attached to this wedding. I love a nice, happy wedding, but I also, I love a nice wedding, and I'm going to be happy, and I'm going to go ooh and ah over all the outfits, but I'm not like drooling for it. I'm not like hungry for it. There's no drama. There's no obstacle. There's no nothing. I mean, can't Lily and Billy get into a fight at the wedding and then, I don't know, start making out and then like fall out of a broom closet and smash into the cake or something? I don't know. I need something here to wet my whistle. Let's hear from Daisy. Daisy says, I still hope that Jill finds out what's going on with Billy. I would be okay if he tried to take over Glissade in some way or any other company, but not Catherine's. So I really don't see any other way to get Chancellor's back on track other than having someone contact Jill about Billy. And maybe the best person to do that is Nikki. Nikki can be sensitive, talk mother to mother and businesswoman to businesswoman, and then hopefully have a conversation like that will compel Jill to either remove Billy from his position and reinstate Lily, or sell her company to Victor. I think either way would be better than how things are now. Yeah, I loved Phyllis's reaction this week when she was like, oh, your mother doesn't even know what you've done? So we've got that coming too. I mean, assuming Jill's going to come back at some point, we will certainly have to see her reacting to what Billy has done. And then what will Jill's reaction be in reaction to that? Well, I love this comment from Gary, who says, imagine forming the new Abbott Chancellor, pretending to be one of the 10 most successful conglomerates in the country. You scour the talent across the nation to find who can best help achieve that, and then you come up with Genoa City's local Phyllis. Yes, Billy could have hired anybody to be in the COO spot, but Phyllis has tons of experience, and she's got the tech experience too, and I guess it doesn't hurt that they've slept together. And we'll probably do that again. Well, T. Nicole says, I am sorry if this offends anyone, but I am with Phyllis. Why have a breakfast and a cookie? And I vote chocolate chip all the way. But I am a chocoholic, so there's that. That should be a sub-vote of the week. Oatmeal raisin or chocolate chip cookies. T. Nicole, now you're really getting into the heart of it all, right? This is the real question of the week, isn't it? How does everyone feel about the oatmeal raisin cookies? Can we get some discussion on this today? I mean, I feel like if we're voting between oatmeal raisin and chocolate chip is gonna win. I mean, there's probably nobody who chooses oatmeal raisin over the chocolate chip, although if you would, please leave a comment. I want to hear from that. But I feel like it would be minority. I feel like most people would want the chocolate chip. But I don't feel that takes away from, it doesn't feel like as much of a contest for me, because I do enjoy an oatmeal raisin cookie. I'm not going to choose it over a chocolate chip. If the chocolate chip looks soft, if the chocolate chip cookie is soft and delicious and big looking. If it's like a hard, little tiny chocolate chip cookie, no thanks. But if it's big and soft and yummy, yes, I'm choosing that. If it's little and small and hard, then I'm going to go for the oatmeal raisin cookie because I really like oatmeal. I'm not huge into raisins, but I can appreciate it. I like the texture difference. You know, I like the taste. I like the flavor. I like oatmeal raisin cookies. They're not my first choice, but I do like them. And I have to say, this is another area where I just have to praise Michelle Stafford, because I have noticed in every scene where there's food happening, Michelle Stafford, more than anyone, always eats the food. And she doesn't like go there and like saw one little tiny lettuce. I will have one little tiny lettuce leaf on the end of my fork and put it in my mouth and pretend I'm eating lunch. She always goes for it. And this week was no exception. It was in fact a great example of that. She took the oatmeal raisin cookie, read it to filth, and then took a big old bite out of it and then took the whole 10. Like, I just feel like Michelle Stafford is so freaking good. She goes all in on everything. And she made the oatmeal cookies scene the scene of the week. So good. Sue W says, I love when the actors actually eat or pretend to. They generally do a better job than when taking fake sips from empty coffee cups. But that always cracks me up. Not one cast member can ever make it believable, despite the pretend stirring, the cupping cups, and blowing onto hot nothing. It's all for naught once they raise the drink to the mouth with no subtle concession to weight in the paper cup or volume of a ceramic one. This never gets old to me. I still get a kick out of watching soap actors attempt to nonchalantly pull it off, and I'm laughing now at the thought of it. Yes. I mean, you have your ladies who take the tiniest little treatment of the food, and then you have Michelle Stafford who's like, I'm gonna pick this muffin up. Even if I'm not gonna eat it, I'm gonna pick it up. I'm using it. It's a prop. But no one really has quite mastered the drinking of the drink. It's never right. Maybe an exception would be Victor does love to pour a glass of water. In wherever scene he is, especially if it's in his office, he loves to pour a glass of water into, in the crystal pitcher, into the crystal cup, and that works out pretty well for him, I think. Nobody knows how to eat a muffin or pretend to eat a muffin or a cookie like Michelle Stafford, and nobody knows how to take a drink of water like Eric Braeden. Dang. Sharon W says, I'm hoping for much more story between Phyllis and Billy. It has been years since they have had a storyline together, and now I say bravo. Billy trusts Phyllis so much that he opened up to her about what had happened between Adam and Chelsea. He values and relies on her input, even though they're both really rough around the edges and tell it like it is. Often they sound like they're not getting along at all, but when they're seeming to come up with an amazing solution together, I think Billy and Phyllis will be a formidable team going up against Lily. And even though Victor is so powerful, Billy and Phyllis don't care what he thinks or does. They will both be more than ready and willing to fight. Yes, and the fight seems fairer now that Billy has Phyllis in his corner. And I'm thinking back about Billy and Phyllis's relationship, and what we saw was Billy with the Gina Tognoni version of Phyllis, and they had a whole lot of heat between them, but I don't really remember ever seeing this Billy and this Phyllis, so maybe this is going to be something fresh. I love the way you mentioned that when they're talking to each other, it sounds like they don't like each other. They really come off as not friends, and yet the reality is they must see each other as friends. I mean, Phyllis is willing to fight on Billy's behalf. For what reason? And Billy is willing to confide details of his personal life in Phyllis. For what reason? I mean, there must be a mutual admiration, respect, and dare I say friendship there. Stephen says, has anyone asked about what happened to Odyssey 1 through 6? It brings to mind an episode of Star Trek not entirely successful was what Captain Kirk was told about M1 through M4 prior to the M5 computer trying to destroy the universe. Has Billy asked? Hopefully Phyllis is a Trekkie and will save the day. Stephen, dang, I bow to this comment. I mean, that is freaking funny. What happened to Odyssey 1 through 6? I mean, I don't know Star Trek, but I can appreciate the analogy, and I'm sure there's going to be there's some other chatter out there right now who is loving this connection. I just feel like, wow, I mean, this is the kind of thing that you're just not going to find anywhere else but Y&R Chat. What happened to Odyssey 1 through 6? That is a true comedic look at what is considered a drama. Thank you, Stephen. Dang. Sharon W says, well, I was just reading on Google that Michelle Stafford celebrated her birthday on September 14th. She turned 59. Wow. I looked it up because while watching her and Billy on Wednesday's show, I was thinking how beautiful she looked today in her bluish purple dress and her strawberry blonde hair. And I realized that she has hair and makeup at work, which is something the rest of us don't have. But I so admire Michelle and Sharon Case for being two of the Y&R actresses over age 50 that have kept themselves slim and looking beautiful at this age. I was really loving Phyllis in that dress too. I mean, the dress, and you're right. I mean, the bod. Have you seen? I mean, if you look at her abs. Like she works out. She takes care of her body, and yeah. Same for Sharon Case. So Sharon Case always wearing those tight jeans or tight something or other, tight leather pants. She's still rocking it. But I would never have guessed that Michelle Stafford is 59. She looks amazing, and it's so wonderful to be able to watch how these actresses have not only developed in their professional craft, but the way that they have aged. I mean, we're all going in that direction, and they really have done a wonderful job of just seeming to maintain that vibrancy. They both seem youthful. They both still have that spark, and it's very inspiring, Hey, about other fashion notes, T. Nicole says, I noticed that Nick has two hairstyles, long and pushed back, and then super short. We are in the long hair Nick era, and I am loving it. T. Nicole, I love long hair Nick. You're so right. The buzz cut's not right. I like long hair Nick. He definitely has it slicked back currently. I saw that scene of him in Victor's office on Friday where he was standing in front of the window, the blinds, and the sun was coming in on him, and I was also admiring the hair. He does look good, and I do love long hair Nick. I hope he stays that way. Yeah, but it wasn't even that long ago when he was rocking the short, buzzed side look. So, yeah, long hair Nick is back. Diana says, I am really enjoying the storyline with Sharon and her alter ego involving Cameron Kirsten. This is very clever and enjoyable. He fills the void of a villain, as we don't really have one on the show at the moment. His character is great, and I love his sarcasm that he uses with Sharon. It is entertaining and comical at times. Yeah, I know. Like, every time he reminds her, like, okay, well, I'm in your head. I mean, it's villainry, and you're right, it's filling that role of villainry, but there's also this sort of weird kind of comedic funny thing that he's doing that's such a weird mix, it's surprising. Victoria says Cameron is the right amount of menace and charm. Menace and charm. Could not have said that better, Victoria. She goes on to say the actor is very skilled. To have Cameron be Sharon's darkest thoughts was an enlightened choice. I am glued to the show whenever Cameron shows up. Yeah. And Naomi says, can we somehow keep Cameron around? He's a fantastic character and fills a gap that Tucker left. couldn't Sharon just stay a little nuts and have Cameron be her inner self when she's feeling stressed? Oh, yeah. But Tony says it's a soap. They don't even have to explain it. What if, poof, Cameron is alive and we find out that he really has been talking to Sharon? What if she gets out of rehab, thinks that she's well, and then he'll be in the carriage house to greet her? Hear Alfred Hitchcock music? Yes. Or I think it was Daisy last week said, what if he turns out to have a twin and the twin is a doctor at Sharon's facility or something? Yeah. I mean, there's a million different ways we could write this guy back into the show. I think that would be fabulous. Hey, here's a comment from Sharon L. This is Sharon L's very first Y&R Chat comment. Sharon L says, I'm a new commenter to Y&R Chat, but I keep hearing who is to blame for the Faith Lucy accident. Did anyone ever think that the accident was partially Sharon's fault? She practically made Faith go and pick up Lucy that night instead of calling Daniel and Heather to go get their drunk daughter. Also, are we sure that Lucy's interest in Faith is not a romantic crush? Her actions seem a little extreme to be just wanting to be friends. This might be a direction that Y&R should explore. Do you think that Lucy and Faith will be sticking around? Because if they are sticking around, then I could definitely see Y&R exploring that direction. I just, for some reason, get the impression that Faith's only here for a little bit. Like when the summer's over, Faith's going back to college and we're not going to see her. And I feel like at least Heather and Lucy are going to be written off soon. They're wanting to go back to Portugal, and Daniel's not. Maybe he'll go with them, maybe not, I don't know. Daniel's the one that has the ties to Genoa City, so I could see him sticking around, but I could totally see Heather and Lucy getting written off and Faith going back to college. But I like your point about Sharon being the one that encouraged Faith to go get Lucy instead of just calling her parents. Victoria says, well, I know it's fall. Sharon just showed up in a brown velour exercise ensemble. Mariah may be jealous. She had to wear that pumpkin orange color forever. Oh my gosh, you're right. Fall's officially here. Sharon's in a brown tracksuit. Oh my gosh, tracksuit. It's always a tracksuit. Anytime anybody is a little off their game, be it mental or physical, it's tracksuit town. We have gone to tracksuit town. I can't pull it off. I don't look good in all one color. Maybe I should try again. If at first you don't succeed. Victoria also says, it was great to see Victoria, Nikki, and Victor finally coming together to support Nick after a rocky beginning. Hopefully their discussion about talking to Sharon's doctor will prompt some action. However, an important Newman was left out of the discussion. Where was Adam? He and Sharon share a close bond over her mental health issues. Adam may have been able to get through to Sharon. Call Adam stat. Cameron's sweet whisperings are taking effect. Dang, that's a good point. Adam is just like not involved in Sharon's life at all. It's kind of disappointing because they did have a really great connection once. I have not given you a poll question yet, and I think I know what it's going to be. After talking about Sharon, and someone kind of made this connection a couple of weeks ago, that we just got out of Ashley's mental health crisis, and now we're being dropped right into Sharon's mental health crisis. Which one of those stories so far do you think has been better? Have you connected more with Ashley and her multiple personalities and everything that went on with her in Paris? Or have you connected more with the Sharon and Cameron story? Which one of these two closely followed back-to-back mental health crises do you think made for a better story? You should go to yrchat.com and cast your vote. Speaking of votes, let me give you last week's results. I asked you, Victoria and Cole, sizzle or fizzle? I can't believe it. 60% of you think that Victoria and Cole have fizzled. Ah! Only 40% voting for the sizzle. Henry says, my vote is fizzle. just given Victoria's track record when it comes to her many marriage failures, she and Abby just don't have much luck in marriage and or relationship, the relationship department. Clarison is her parents' biggest cheerleader, but her parents' relationship is just impending doom in my humble opinion, Victor being the X factor. Oh, really? So you just think Victoria and Cole are doomed? Well, Marianne V says Victoria and Cole are good together even though Victor doesn't like it. Cole isn't afraid of Victor, which I think Victoria likes. They have a history and a daughter together, and neither one is interested in anyone else, so why not? Yeah, why not indeed? I vote sizzle. T. Nicole says, I am finding Kyle and Claire super cute. I love a good sugary sweet romance, and they are doing it for me. Also, that meal with them and Victoria and Cole was fun and cute. I think with Sharon's darker storyline and the business drama with Victor, Kyle and Claire give me something fluffy and cute in between the scenes. Yeah, that's a good point. That's a really good point, that it creates some balance of sweetness in between Sharon's dark drama and Billy's business drama. Connie says, I am so proud of Cole. He has accomplished the task of standing up to Victor, yet remaining respectful in his dissent. Victor is accustomed to barking out orders and demands and being met with a submissive compliance or a fiery blowback. Cole kept his cool as he firmly stood up to the attack. I love it, and I am Team Cole for the win over the bully. Good point. Cole had composure. You're right. Victor's used to either someone submitting or pushing back hard, and Cole just somehow rode that fence with a piece of hay in his mouth. Hey, Connie says, hello, my chatter friends. I'm home after double bypass heart surgery, and I'm getting better every day. I missed our chats, but holy cow, our show has been extremely entertaining during my month in the hospital and rehab. Isn't it wonderful that our beloved Y&R is fun comfort in the midst of life's challenges? Connie, welcome back. I was thinking of you and hoping we would be hearing from you soon. I didn't know it was double bypass heart surgery and you've been in the hospital the whole time and then rehab, and wow. I'm so happy to hear from you. I'm so glad that you're on the mend. I hope that you keep up that momentum, and I love your attitude. I love that you see Y&R as this getaway, you know, because that's exactly what it is, and it's really kind of the gift of Y&R, you know. I mean, it's always there. If you think about it, Y&R is always there through the ups, through the downs, through the ins, through the outs. I mean, life is this roller coaster, and Y&R is a constant. I mean, some people have been watching the whole time for over 50 years. I've been watching for 30 years. It's like, I've changed so much in 30 years, but Y&R's been there. It's always there. And yeah, you know, we should appreciate that. We are so lucky to have it. It's kind of like we all have our own little private vacation house in Genoa City to get away from the crazies of life. All right, everybody. That is it. I hope that everybody had a really good week and that you're prepared to have another really good week. Go to yrchat.com if you want to leave some comments, and come back here next Sunday and see me, and we will chat. I love you, everybody. Have a good week. Bye.